It's September. So yeah, today is the 1st of September. It's time for another one of these. Miles went home yesterday, the last day of August. Probably need to carry on working on this collaborative project with me in Colours in Context. We also have some tracks that we're kind of working on for another thing. A lot of collaborations with Miles at the moment, which is nice. And then just kind of starting to figure out what I want to kind of focus my attention on next, which is quite nice. I like to have these sort of moments of quiet where I can sort of like recalibrate and like figure out what I want to focus my attention on. So I don't know what that'll be, but we'll see. But I'm hopeful for a good September. So we'll see what this has in store. So let's cut to the next thing, I guess. It is now 2:45 midnight on Wednesday the 1st of September. It's the same day. Not loads to report from today. I spent most of today working on editing August's vlog. That's now done, it's now out. I think I said earlier I had to cut a lot of content from it. It could have easily been an hour long, but I want to try and keep these to half an hour long. So yeah, I mostly did that today, and that's now out. And it's doing fine. It is already Saturday the 4th of September. So today is the first day I've actually had like some motivation to get some stuff done. So today I'm mastering an EP that I actually collaborated on 2 tracks on. It's quite interesting to be mastering stuff that like, you know, a mix of stuff that I've mixed and stuff that someone else has mixed. So I'm kind of doing a first draft of masters of this EP today. I'll be sending them off and just kind of seeing what, you know, the artist's feedback is, if there's anything they want to change. So I'm going to get that EP mastered, get it sent off today, and even if that's the only thing I do today, I'm going to be relatively happy with that, because it's like the first time in a few days I've actually done something that's like music related, which is good. I do need to get some stuff done. It is about 10 to midnight on Sunday the 5th of September. I just went out for a little drive to try and clear my head. I've had like a really weird few days, like just my head's been sort of all over the place with like a lot of different things, like music related and non-music related, like a lot of different things. Today and yesterday I've been working on the last track for the AER album, which is like the vocal thing. I previewed 2 of the songs in Motions Live, but the album was pretty much done, and then I had like this one demo floating around that I knew I wanted to finish, and I went back and listened to it, and there was like a couple of lyrics in there. One of the lyrics was, "I'm alright, I just feel like the world collapsed for a moment, and it feels strange like someone switched the film and started it from the middle." And I remember like, sometimes I do this thing, right, where I write lyrics and I don't really know like how much I've just like expressed myself until like I sing it or like hear it back later down the line, and I'm just kind of like, ooh. So I've been finishing up that track. It's a track called Me, and the album was going to end on like quite a sort of somber, sad note, but actually what this song Me has become is actually more of like there's a lyric in there as well that's like, I'm not ready to sing about being fine, but these are messages for a future self. And I liked the idea of writing this kind of song that was a bit of a time capsule for my future self to listen to, because like I always, you know, will listen back to my older songs and feel what I was feeling at that time or know what I was feeling, but I wanted to write something that was a message to my future self to kind of be like, you're gonna be okay, because I feel like vocalizing that, not just in song but actually saying, you know, that like I'm gonna be okay, like can do quite a lot for you. So I liked the idea of this song being like a forwards time capsule. But yeah, I mean, that's what I've been working on musically. I did those masters and stuff, and I've got some notes from the artist, so I need to look at that, which I'm going to try and look at tomorrow if I feel okay for doing it. But I thought I'd just check in and say hi. I'm telling you, man, switch off your phones from time to time. I think it would do us all a lot of good to stay away from social media for a little bit, because it's all so addictive, and I don't really realize how addictive it is until I take a step back. But yeah, rough few days, not feeling great, feeling just a little bit lost, but I'll figure it out one way or another. I'll get there. We'll all get there, you know, like we kind of have to, like we don't really have a choice, which is sometimes a bit crap. It is now Tuesday the 7th of September, and I'm still feeling a little bit weird. Like I can't really decide what I want to work on. I've obviously been working on these masters and stuff, which I'm going to try and finish up today, but otherwise I haven't really worked on anything. Not like for Project AER anyway. Like what I've actually been doing is I've had this folder of like stems from like my old computer. I had a bunch of stems and stuff that I exported out of Logic when I knew I was going to kind of stop using Mac altogether and kind of move over to Windows. And I've kind of gone through that folder, and there's a few songs in there that I've like wanted to finish for a while that are like for like my kind of own name, like solo acoustic stuff. There's not many, there's maybe only like 3 or 4 songs, but I want to kind of put together a creatively titled EP called Unfinished Songs, because they have honestly been sitting around since probably like 2016, 2017, so these songs are like really old now for me. It's been good practice. It's good to kind of, you know, still be kind of working on like, you know, my mixing skills and stuff, and working in different genres as well, because whilst I might not know what I want to write for Project AER at the moment, I know I want to keep working on music, so I don't want to kind of just be sitting around playing video games all day. I want to still be doing something creative. I think right now though, I'm also quite conscious that I'm releasing like a lot of music, and I love releasing music. I'm honestly like at my happiest when I'm releasing something, or when I'm kind of getting to kind of finish something and put it out there in the world and share stuff with people. I don't like kind of having to keep stuff under wraps for ages. So I think that, but I think there's still a balance, you know, there's still this, you know, I'm releasing an album this month with Colours and Context. I'm releasing an album next month, which is another 12-track album. Like it, you know, I'm just a bit conscious of like overload. So maybe having a bit of a break between kind of these albums and whatever's next might be a good thing. But we'll see. I'm just going to go and finish up some old tracks, and maybe there'll be something fun to show you or to talk about, or we're going to skip another like 4 or 5 days now. But yeah, let's see what this leads to, shall we? It is Thursday the 9th of September, and I think today is probably the first day I feel like a little bit better in myself and just in kind of figuring stuff out. I finished my Unfinished Songs project from my like solo acoustic stuff, which is really cool. I'm quite happy with it. I mean, the songs are old, I could only improve them so much, but I think I'm relatively happy with them. So next up, I guess, today I've been working on something that I can't really talk about because it's very different for Project AER, which is really exciting. I think I'll be able to talk about that pretty soon, but it was something that was really challenging to work on. I know I'm just being vague as always, but still. I think sometimes I just need a few days to sort of like have a bit of a reset, you know what I mean? Like just sometimes like everything just feels weird, because like not even loads has like happened. Like I can't say like, I mean, other than like getting a new car, which has been a nightmare because the air conditioning in it doesn't work, and we've decided to have like a heat wave recently, so it's like driving around a greenhouse on wheels. But that's getting sorted soon, so you know. But yeah, feeling a bit better, just sort of taking it easy, but still kind of chipping away at stuff. I think it was quite therapeutic to work on those acoustic songs, and they'll be out, you know, before the month's out, so yeah. I'm feeling a bit more optimistic today, and I guess that's kind of why I wanted to capture this, so yeah. It is now Monday the 13th of September. I don't know when I last filmed. This is continuing to be a very tough month. I've just been doing some like vocal retakes, which has been a lot of fun because some of my neighbours have decided that today was the perfect day to cut all their hedges and their grass out the front. So that's my phone. They've stopped now. As soon as I started filming this, they've stopped. I was like, I'll get some proof. Otherwise, I don't really have too much to report. I've just kind of had a few days of just feeling very kind of like stuck in my thoughts, and trying to sort of get out of it and trying to figure out what I do next. I need to kind of start kicking myself into gear, and I think that I'm telling myself that if I work on kind of clearing my plate, that I can kind of fully commit to something new for Project AER. Like I know I want to make another ambient EP. Sorry, this month's been really boring so far, but what can you do? So it's still the same day, it's still the 13th of September, but I just sort of told myself I want to sit down and try and write something pretty on guitar. And what I came up with was this. I'm probably going to mess it up, but... So I'm going to try and make something with that. I don't know what it would be for, but I'm going to try. It's now about 11:30 in the evening on the 13th of September, and what a difference one day can sometimes make. I'm feeling a bit better. Like, I'm not, I still don't feel like I'm completely there, but I feel like I've dealt with a lot of things today that have been like bugging me or, kind of just on my mind in general, which is quite good. And I also feel like I've started to be a bit more creative again. That guitar idea from earlier, because I've got a few projects going with Colours in Context at the moment, I've actually sent it to him. He's going to be working on it tomorrow, so I'm probably going to have a bit more stuff to do with that tomorrow to kind of get it finished and mixed and mastered, because we want to try and have quite a quick turnaround on it. What's quite exciting though is Colours in Context and I have actually started to book things to do, because it's been way too long since I last went to a gig. So we have booked a gig for November, so we're going to try and go to that. But we have also, for the release of our upcoming collaborative album Maury, which we haven't actually announced yet, that's coming out on the 24th, on that day we're going to have a visualizer go live, and then we're going to go out into Manchester to celebrate it, because we've not really kind of done that for a release before, and Manchester is kind of where this album kind of came to life. In the height of lockdown, we were both having a bit of a rough time. I'd gone up to stay with him because of some other stuff I had going on. It was 2 in the morning and I was like, let's just go out into Manchester then, and let's just go and wander around. And we went for a drive, and then we kind of parked up and got out and just wandered around Manchester in this completely empty city with just no one in it, and just got these amazing photos of just completely empty streets. And that album kind of took on a really new kind of lease of life from that point. So we're going to go out into Manchester to celebrate it on the day of its release, and we are going clubbing, which I don't know if I'll remember to get any footage from, but it's Colours in Context's first time going clubbing, so that'll be fun. And I haven't been clubbing in probably 2 or 3 years, and for the last sort of hour or so I've been just working on some mixing for the AER album, which I'm starting to kind of turn my attention to, because all the writing for it is now done, and so I just need to get it mixed. And yeah, so I guess I'll see you tomorrow for some work on this collaborative track with Colours in Context. So yeah, let's see how that turns out, shall we? So today is the 14th of September, and again I've not filmed much of what I've been doing because I haven't really recorded anything new today. So what has today entailed? Firstly, I've got a new song that I'm going to put out on Friday, which is an old thing. I actually kind of used it in the last one of these vlogs. It's a track called The Nights. It's just a solo guitar piece. I'd say solo, there's 3 or 4 guitar tracks, but it's just, there's no beat or anything like that. There's not even a bass guitar, it's just guitar and just ambience. Which I'm just going to put out on Friday. I just finished it up and I quite like it, and it feels like quite a meaningful track. It was one of those things I put together when I was just in a bit of a sort of sad state, so I figured it'd be a nice thing to just put out. So today is Thursday the 16th of September, and I've actually got some motivation again today, which is nice. So today my car is getting fixed because the new car that I bought doesn't have working aircon, which is great when it's sunny and warm at the moment. So whilst I'm waiting for that to be fixed, I am working on a couple of collaborations that have kind of cropped up. First up is this one that you've just been hearing. It's pretty cool so far, actually. I kind of loaded all the stems into the project to kind of get started on it, and just immediately started coming up with stuff that I like and kind of started to hear ideas. I've got this and one other collaboration that I need to look at, and I think after that, that's kind of going to be the last of the sort of random collaborations and stuff for at least a little while. Actually no, maybe there is one more that I'm forgetting about. So 3 more, and then I'm hoping that after that, that will kind of be the end of it for a while, just because I want to kind of get focused on whatever's next. But yeah, so I'm just going to keep working on this, and let's make some more guitar parts for it, I guess. One thing I really quite like about working in Studio One is that whenever I record audio, I can just easily quantize the audio that I'm working on. So with the bass part, I can literally just hit Q after I've recorded it, and it will quantize it. And it's not always perfect, sometimes I have to go in and adjust it, but sometimes if I want the timing of certain parts to be pretty much perfect, it's a really good way to kind of get that without needing to redo the take hundreds of times. And it just kind of speeds up the workflow. Yes, it's sort of cheating, but it means that I can make songs faster. So So one thing I really like with collaborations is when people send me quite a lot of stems. Like sometimes I'll just get, maybe like a kick, snare, hi-hat, and then like some kind of musical parts. But here what I've been given is quite a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of different drum tracks. So we have like all my yellow stuff up the top here, that's all drums. And I'm what I like to do then is kind of go through and see what I want to keep and what I want to add and what I want to just kind of get rid of. Because sometimes people send me stuff that once I've kind of started to add my parts into it, I think that either things clash or they just I don't really vibe with them. So like one is this little clap pattern here. Just sounds a little bit weird, which probably sounded fine before I started adding stuff to it. But so we're just going to take that out and probably see if we can replace it with something better. Maybe I'll record something. But yeah, so I'm going to remove that. So let's do that. Just fully delete it. Why not? So what we also have is we have 3 things that are layered up as like snares. So we have this. We also have snare 2 and snare 1. So let's hear those together. And those are all stacking on top of one another. And this is the thing with kind of layering sounds. Obviously this person has sent me a demo, I'm not critiquing that, but when you're kind of layering kind of 3 sounds, like they're going to all stack up and create kind of more volume. So if I turn my limiter off, if we layer them up one by one, so the first snare comes in at about minus 10 dB right now. We add in the second snare, we go to minus 6 dB, and we add in the third, and we still stay around about minus 6, but where we were minus 6.5, we're now minus 6. So those things are going to hit limiters harder when we're mastering, so it's finding ways to kind of layer things. I want to kind of send back a relatively finished song because I've been sent a full layout, so I kind of want to send them something that they might not want to add too much to if they want to add anything at all. One more thing before we move on that I think is kind of a useful tip, and that is signal flow. I don't know if that's what it's called or technically gain staging, but it's something to kind of be aware of. So obviously when you're kind of working on a track, so if we literally just take the hi-hat, let's take the hi-hat that we were just looking at, right? If I put a level meter in the plugin chain, now you can't see my screen. If I was being more organized, I would record my screen. So right now when I'm running this hi-hat through the level meter on my plugin chain, it's coming in at around about minus 5 dB true peak. But actually, after I've EQ'd it and then my volume fader, which is actually currently set to about minus 5 dB in itself, what I'm actually getting on my master output is minus 12 dB. So that looks good, right? But actually, the track itself, before I've done the volume fader, because the volume fader is kind of the last thing in your chain, when you're kind of running a sound, and if you think about the order in which the sound is being processed, if I then add loads of distortion to it, I could, let's just absolutely clip the sound, right? And if I put my level meter now at the end of the plugin chain, so I've added 11 dB of gain to this hi-hat. We're using a hi-hat, but this kind of goes for like guitars, it goes for vocals, it goes for literally anything. And now we're clipping. We're actually clipping and coming into the red where we're coming in just over 0 dB true peak. So we're actually creating distortion. But again, because my fader is set lower, I look at it and I go, well, my channel's not clipping and my output's not clipping because I'm coming in at minus 6 dB on my output. But the actual channel itself is clipping. So it's one thing to kind of think about that when you're kind of doing processing to anything at all, it's kind of just worth thinking about is that individual element of it clipping at that stage in it, because yes, you can turn the fader down, but you're still creating clipping potentially through plugins because it depends on how good the plugin is, the quality of processing that each plugin uses. So it's just something to think about, that if you're at no point in the plugin stage, plugin chain you're clipping, then you're going to avoid kind of any unnecessary artifacting or distortion. Just something to think about, that overall, if it's something that you take into your entire workflow, you can improve the quality of your mixes just because everything is going to sound cleaner overall and you're going to be mixing a cleaner signal. I don't know if technically what I'm saying is correct, but hopefully this has been interesting. Let's move on. It's now Monday the 20th of September. We're getting near the end of September. I have had a few days of nothing, like not really wanting to talk to anyone. Over the weekend I didn't do much. I got some new artist photos. Here's what those look like. I'm kind of happy with them. I think I want to get some more but you know, for like this kind of next era of Project Air, which I don't really know what it is, I just figured I needed some new photos. I look a little bit different when I took the last ones. I don't really like the last ones, so I got some new ones. Yeah, I just had a few days of not really kind of wanting to talk to anyone really, so I pretty much just watched all of the new series of Final Space, well, last series of Final Space, which if you haven't seen it, totally recommend that on Netflix. Then Deltarune Chapter 2 came out, Deltarune and Undertale, like all that kind of those games, and just such an inspiration to me. I even have in my studio, I have a little Napster Bluke, little acrylic thing that I got given as a present, and I love it a lot because Napster Bluke is my favourite character from Undertale, because he's a ghost and he's a producer. He's a ghost producer. Get it? This week is looking to be a pretty busy week. On Thursday, very early in the morning, I'll be leaving to drive up to go and see Colours in Context because we have an album out this week. We announced it today a little bit earlier. It's called Mori. We've been hanging on to this album since like late last year. Like this album's been sat around for a while. I haven't really been working on loads of like new music. I today have been working on a collaboration that I've been meaning to get done for a little while now. I'd completely forgotten about it. I was meant to work on it over the weekend and I just didn't. It is about 5:15 in the morning on Thursday the 23rd of September. I'm just about to kind of pack my stuff up and go and set off to Miles's. And I don't even know how dark it is outside. Oh my god. It's too early. Okay, I think I have everything. It's now nearly 5:30 in the morning. So I'm gonna check my route on Waze. I'm not sponsored by Waze. Wish I was. I just put my route in and it's saying that I'm gonna be there at 9:10 in the morning. We'll see about that. So I made it. It is 9:15. I thought I was going to be a little bit earlier, then I thought it was going to be loads later, but I kind of arrived like pretty much on time. But the drive went alright. There was just a lot of lorries like trying to overtake lorries, which kind of sucked. But Miles is here, hey. So Miles is in another one of these again. So we're going to go get some breakfast, and then I imagine we'll kind of catch up with you when we're doing something interesting, because we've got to get our visualizer tonight, but it is 9:15 in the morning, and we're not doing that until 2 in the morning tomorrow.
Especially after a long drive, I think it's just chill and
yeah, but first go get back in the car and go get some stupid takeaway breakfast, because I'm real hungry. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry for the hair. It's now 2:30 in the morning on what is now technically Friday, but I'm still calling this the 23rd. But yeah, Maury is out, which is really exciting. We just went and did a drive, got very lost in Manchester, very, very stressed out, went the wrong way a couple of times, didn't really know where we were going. But we've just been reviewing some of the footage for the visualizer, which we're going to edit tomorrow because we both need to sleep. Miles is running on 2 hours sleep. I'm running on like 4. Yeah. So, you know, we're not doing great between us. We haven't even got like a full night's sleep between, you know, two humans here. So we're going to edit that tomorrow. But so far, everything's looking really quite good. So my luck is holding out with these kind of like first attempts at like filming stuff. So but Maury's out. Go stream it. I know this is like late after it's come out. So even if you have streamed it, go stream it again, please. But we will see you tomorrow for more Maury. For more Maury. More Maury. More Maury.
Hopefully.
I need to sleep.
Yeah. We...
Okay. So it is about 3 p.m. on Saturday the 25th of September, and Colours in Context and I, still here, have come out to come and get some like video footage, just because we want to build up like a library of footage to use for like visuals, canvases, various different things without having to kind of find free stuff online. So we've come to where there's a waterfall. It's a little bit busy down there, but we're going to just try and get some nice chill footage of the waterfall, and then we're going to a few other places. So today is kind of us doing a bit of a tour of the north and getting a bunch of footage. Miles, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm just trying not to die.
Yeah, it's pretty rocky here, and it's pretty wet, so it's all good. So let's see how we do. It's the same day. It's now later. I don't know what time it is. My hair still looks awful. I apologize for that, but that isn't why you watch these vlogs. I mean, why are you even watching them? So we have moved locations. We got some footage from the waterfall. Didn't get loads because there was like loads of people there, and we don't want to just kind of be the weirdos that are like filming. It's a little bit strange. So we have done a really long and strenuous walk up, like basically just up a cliffside, because I mean this is the views that we have right now. I don't know if that really shows the sense of scale.
We're in the middle of nowhere, basically.
Yeah, pretty much like total middle of nowhere, and it is dead silent. Like we are really high up, but we've come up here because there are wind farms, which we've gotten some footage from in the past, but we've never had like high quality footage. And now, like with my new camera and stuff, and like us wanting to build this library of footage, we've come up here. They've just dropped behind the hill, but there are some wind turbines. If I haven't filmed anymore, I'll put some footage that we get from here over me talking right now. But yeah, it's been challenging, like really physically challenging.
Very much so.
But it's been good fun. How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's I think we had to make a bit of a choice really, whether we were kind of, you know, gonna take the long but less tiring approach, or whether we're literally just gonna go, you know, just kind of put ourselves through a bit more of a strenuous sort of journey, but get there in good time. So I think this is kind of the way that we're gonna approach this trip in future, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. If we come back up here, which won't be soon,
No.
but yeah, we have some wind turbines, but the views are lovely. So we're gonna go get some footage and I'll catch up with you in a bit. So we made it. We made it up here. It's very, very pretty. The sun came out. It's looking really nice. We're getting some cool shots. We can't really check them, so we're gonna have to check them when we go back.
Fingers crossed.
But
It'll turn out
it's
well.
picturesque up here. It's lovely. I can't stop looking at the phone's viewfinder because I'm just like, it's so nice. But we've been filming on this thing for pretty much the whole time. It's a vibe.
There's no one here at all. Completely dead. It's beautiful.
It's so quiet, other than the blades of wind turbines. But it's so nice. It's such a place of calm. So now we're gonna get some footage and then probably have to start finding our way back, because otherwise we're gonna be stuck up here when it goes dark.
Yep.
So it's been fun.
It's been really, really fun. Really good.
Good exercise as well.
10,000 steps, and that's just to now. So.
Yeah, and we've still got to get back. So double that pretty much.
Yeah.
And we're back. We haven't just got back. I have gone and had a shower because that was a long walk and I needed to freshen up because oof. So now we're going to sort some food, and we've had a look through the footage from today and it looks pretty good. We're quite happy with it, aren't we?
That's really, really good. There's
Yeah.
some, some will need some, color grading and just playing with, but it's really, really impressive. So
Yeah,
yeah, really
exactly.
happy
So yeah, clubbing was good, by the way. I didn't actually mention about that. It was good. Like I think that the playlist that they were using was a little bit basic, but that does sound a bit pretentious of me. It is now 7 o'clock on the Sunday. I'm about to just begin the journey home, the long journey home, which I reckon will probably take me to about 10:30, but we'll see. I'm just feeling like a little bit like under the weather all of a sudden. Like I've had kind of like the sneezies, they've been coming and going, but I'm feeling like a little bit rough. So just gonna take it easy and just get home safe and then go from there, I guess. But it's been fun. It's been nice to get away and take my mind off of things a little bit and kind of distance myself from social media a bit. And Maury's obviously out now, which is super exciting. I still need to post about it. I've been purposefully not doing it until I get back. I've been waiting to kind of release the visualizer until I'm back as well, just so I can, focus on it properly. But yeah, let's go. And I'm home. It was quite quick. It was just a very boring drive. It's a very long drive. I was expecting to be back at about 10:30. I made it back for about 10:20 at night, obviously. But yeah, it was fine, but I am very tired, so sleep is up next. Okay, so today is the 30th of September. It is the last day of September. I've been really quite ill this week. After I got back on Sunday, I was pretty much out of action, and I just had like some stuff going on, and I was ill. I already said that, so I'm going to pretty much end this here, and that's kind of a wrap on September, which is exciting. I just did a podcast episode with Chilled Samples, which will go live on Monday, which I think is the 4th of October. So there'll be a link to that in the description when that's live. It's been a really interesting month. I got the artwork for my next album, which is coming out at the end of October. Super exciting stuff. And it's been a crazy busy month. Got a lot done, and let's see what October has in store, because October's usually a bit naff. But we'll see. We'll see how we go. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the start of November for the October vlog, if there's one of those. So I'll see you then.